So we all know about the Avengers Campus that's going to be coming to Disney California Adventure. But there's also going to be another Avengers Campus that's going to be opening at Disneyland Paris in the coming years. And recently the construction has resumed. So let's dive into a construction update up next. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is of course DSNY Newscast, and before we get started, be sure to go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, and also turn on the notifications bell so that you never miss a video. And now let's get straight into the video. As so much of the focus of the last month has been all about the reopening of Walt Disney World, and understandably so. However, something that was seemingly lost within the news cycle has been the successful reopening of Disneyland Paris on July 15th. As the two-part resort has seen a gradual return of guests under similar physical distancing, sanitation and capacity restrictions to Walt Disney World, with face covering compliance extremely high and the cast members strictly enforcing the policy throughout the parks. But along with the reopening, we've also received the confirmation from Disneyland Paris about the resumption of construction on projects at Walt Disney Studios Park, with those being the Avengers Campus and the Route 66 road trip. But first, let's begin with the Marvel-themed land that's going to be located in the previous backlot area, as this side of the park will be transformed into a futuristic Avengers Campus, as is depicted in this concept art here. And now thanks to our friends at DLP Report on Twitter, we can see the level of progress that has already been made on this new entrance corridor into the main campus hub, which is even more apparent when comparing the recent DLP Report photo to that of this photo I captured back in February, with the most obvious progression here being on the Spider-Man Web Slingers attraction building, as last year we saw the demolition of a former Armageddon show building. And unlike the same Spider-Man attraction that is currently under construction at Disney California Adventure, that's seeing a repurposing of parts of the Tough to Be a Bug Theatre, the version of the Spider-Man ride in Disneyland Paris requires a completely new build from the ground up. But now we can see here that the exterior walls are beginning to take shape. Although despite COVID-19 delaying the project by at least 3 to 4 months, the Spider-Man Web Slingers attraction was always going to be a lengthy construction build, as French building regulations favour concrete pours for these types of show buildings instead of the steel framework that we see in the United States. So potentially, Avengers Campus in Paris could still be on track for a late 2021 opening date. But I would anticipate that the Spider-Man Web Slingers attraction is going to open in a second phase, maybe 6 months later, sometime in 2022. And the reason why I say that is because the reimagining of Rock and Roller Coaster into the Iron Man roller coaster was originally scheduled for a summer 2021 opening. However, given the delays, it's still possible that that could still open in late 2021, as after all it's an attraction retheme of Rock and Roller Coaster, which closed in September 2019. However, speaking about that attraction, thanks to ED92 on Twitter, we have a great construction look at the back of the land. And as we can see here, the exterior has been stripped from the Rock and Roller Coaster entrance building, as it used to be adorned by this corrugated metal that was extremely lackluster in its theming. But now we can see that Disney is preparing the walls with this new black paneling that will sit behind the new theming, as much of the actual building's shape will be obscured by this curved metal exterior that is supposedly representing the electromagnetic pulse generator that will harness kinetic energy for the new multi-person Iron Man suit technology that will be featured within the roller coaster experience. And then over in the far corner we can see that there's construction on a new building that will be home to the Avengers HQ Mission Control meet and greet location. And this will have a similar futuristic metal and glass skeleton structure with LED panels around the entrance to the Mission Control building. However, roughly around this location here will be where the Quinjet landing pad will be next to the entrance to the Iron Man roller coaster. But that's not all for today, as at the back of this image we can see the Motors Action Stunt Show Theatre. And despite the inclusion of a building that looks very similar to the same building that we've seen in the concept art for the e-ticket Quinjet Avengers ride that was announced to be coming to the Disneyland Resort, I doubt, given the economic situation, that we'll see this ride come to Paris for quite a while. However, there is a glimmer of hope for something more, as it has been confirmed that the Motors Action Stunt Show has permanently closed, with outside ears confirming with Disney that Jungle Book Jive will be replacing the show on August 22nd. However, I anticipate that this is only going to be a temporary offering, as when the Avengers Campus is getting close to opening, I expect that we'll get an announcement regarding a Marvel-themed outdoor stunt show spectacular that will eventually come to this Motors Action Stunt Show space, as after all it's right next to the campus and the Avengers HQ, and so it would make perfect sense for a repurposing of that theatre for a Marvel stunt show starring all of the Avengers. But either way, that's everything that we can deduce right now about this new Marvel-themed land that will be opening in the coming years. However, let's stick with Disneyland Paris for today, as there's one other project that we really haven't discussed all too much on this channel, and that is the Route 66 road trip, as this will see a shortening of the Studio Tram Tour track, and a complete retheme to the world of Pixar's Cars, which in my opinion is a fantastic idea by Walt Disney Imagineering, as it brings new life to an attraction that was extremely disappointing compared to its Disney World counterpart. But instead, Imagineering have decided to remove all of the boring elements of that previous attraction and keep the one worthwhile showstopper special effects scene of Catastrophe Canyon, as this will be given a whole new story and reimagined with Cars characters, as can be seen here in this concept art. And this retheme will also see a restructuring of the attraction's entrance, as the old location is going to become the new boulevard down toward the lake and Frozen and Star Wars themed lands, while Route 66 road trip will most likely use this blue Barrel of Monkeys bucket as the transition from Toy Story Playland to the queue and load area for the attraction, which will nicely tie together all of these Pixar properties of Toy Story, Ratatouille and Cars into one specific area of the park. But now it's over to you, Walt, and as I would like to know, what are your thoughts and opinions about this Avengers Campus coming to Disneyland Paris and the diversification of the different types of attractions within these campuses? And also, if Walt Disney World was to ever build their own version of a Marvel-themed land, but theme it slightly differently to get around the loophole with Universal, then which park would you want to see it within, and also what would it include? And of course, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere in this video along with your suggestion or your comment to be in the chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Waltonair here for this suggestion from a previous video where we were talking about the planned refurbishment for the People Mover in the Magic Kingdom. And so that's it for today, so be sure to go and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, hit that notification bell, and if you've enjoyed today's video all about the Avengers Campus at Disneyland Paris, then be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.